Safari Week has got to be the biggest shiny hunting event of the year. If not, it's at least one of the biggest. Every year, AbsolBlogsPokemon and his friend Calzone, well, I actually think they hate each other? I don't really know the lore, to be honest. These two host Safari Week, inviting players to shiny hunt in any one of Pokemon's Safari zones, or the Safari-adjacent Marsh Zone. You know the one. You probably already know that the Pokemon here can flee, never to be seen again, making the idea of shiny hunting here a bit of a stress-inducing nightmare. Shiny hunters across the net go all out for Safari Week. I love seeing all the hard work that goes into preparing for Safari Week, and seeing all the different types of consoles my friends and fellow hunters are going to be working with this year. I know plenty of hunters who are planning to take off work for the event too to try and get as many encounters in as possible, and I was eager to do so myself, only there was one problem. Once the dates were revealed this year, it just so happened that Safari Week would land smack dab in the middle of one of my favorite side gigs, teaching a video game history class out at the STEM-based summer camp. I do this every year that I can, and I always have a blast. Plus, I had kind of already signed a contract, right? Like, the kids had already signed up for the class. I wasn't getting out of this. I'd never done Safari Week before, and was super bummed once I realized my schedule conflict. I was really looking forward to grinding out as many encounters as I could without work getting in the way. All that being said, I do get an entire hour for my lunch break, and I'm certainly no stranger when it comes to taking my shiny hunts on the go with me. Typically, when I want to hunt outside of the house, I grab a GBA, DS, or whatever, and just count encounters on my smartwatch. Hunting this way is really nice, but I don't always get to record the moment that the shiny appears on screen. Not to mention, I was wanting to use my newly acquired quad hunting setup for Safari Week to maximize my encounters, and I only got 2 pockets. Even rocking some cargo pants, I'm not going to be able to carry the laptop, the 4DSs, all the cables I would need to do that. It's not happening. If I really wanted to quad hunt on my lunch break, I was going to have to get crafty. Minecrafty. What's the Mr. Beat? How do I do the Mr. Beat? Minecrafty.
Chicken jockey.
So, as you can most definitely tell, I'm not like a makerspace YouTuber or like an engineer or like even a smart person necessarily. I'm simply a guy with 2 hands, a 3D printer, whatever old tools my dad has lying around, and a dream. I bought this cheap toolbox off of Amazon. It looked like with some modifications I'd be able to hold everything in it nicely, and it was not expensive. I also have this extremely tiny laptop I figured I could use to record the gameplay on. It's small enough to fit in the box, but honestly, this thing's pretty powerful. I mean, it's definitely not going to crap out when I plug a bunch of Nintendo DS's into it, that's for sure. Plus, it can play The Binding of Isaac, and that's like 99% of what I need any given computer to do, to be honest. So that'll work for recording on. Now I just gotta get the DS's to fit inside of this thing. I really wasn't messing with how the DS's fit on the top row of the toolbox, so I decided to cut out the dividers and 3D print some brackets later on to hold everything in place. I was honestly just ripping away at this with some clippers, so it got pretty ugly in there. We ended up taking a roto-zip to it, and no, that's not like a power tool possessed by a rotom, it's something else. I don't know. I just use whatever my dad tells me to use, to be honest. Get it twisted. We also zipped out some spots for the cables to feed into the DS's capture card port. I wanted to mount a USB hub to the side of the box, so we also drilled out a hole for the cable to run through to the laptop inside. I bought these little rubber plugs to stop up the hole when it's not in use, and oh my god, they fit so well. This is so satisfying. This was such a good idea. With everything fitting inside nicely, it was time to start modeling those brackets. I have extremely primitive 3D modeling skills, so I made some simple geometry in this browser-based CAD software to install into the toolbox. Did a couple iterations here, but ultimately landed on this guy. He's got little holes on the underside, and I have some threaded metal inserts that melt into the plastic to give you holes to screw into. These are sick, and have helped me make some cool-ass shit. Check out this dice tray I made a while back. Hell yeah. We melt in our inserts, drill some holes, and install the newly printed orange brackets. We also decided to drill a hole into the lid of the box. Since I mounted my USB hub on the outside, we won't be able to close the box with everything plugged in, so this extra hole on the top lets us run the cords from the DS down to the USB hub and close the box. With everything fitting inside all nicely, all that was left to do was try it out. The weekend before the event, my girlfriend Kira had a roller derby match out of state. I decided this would be an awesome time to test out the mobile lab, see how long the battery lasts, and how big these footage files are going to be. From a full charge, the setup can record for about 2 hours, with the portable battery adding in another 90 minutes or so. I ran 700 or so spin encounters before Kira's match started, and I was really pleased with how it was all running. As excited as I was to run more encounters on this mobile quad hunting setup, I really wanted the first shiny I found on it to be during Safari Week, so I took these Torkoal and Spinda hunts back home and just finished them off on my PC. Oh, yes! Shiny Spinda! Sorry if I scared you. So, who would we be hunting for Safari Week anyways? While normally I'd prefer to hunt in Generation 3, just my personal favorite, back in 2023, I was running through a casual playthrough of Soul Silver when I actually found a shiny Magneton running through the Safari Zone tutorial. I was panicking. This was only my 4th or 5th full odd shiny I've ever found, not to mention I'd come to the Safari Zone specifically for a Magneton for this team. I tossed a ball, crossed my fingers, but the magnets broke out. It stayed for another ball or two longer, but in the end, Magneton decided it wasn't meant to be. The screen faded to black and, well, that was that. Well, not quite. In fact, if you check this game's Hall of Fame, you'll see a shiny Magneton right there, TI-84, right alongside the rest of my team. That's because I cheated. After failing the shiny, I decided to just go catch another Magneton, pop my game into my hack 3DS, and change it to shiny myself. I wasn't really a shiny hunter back then, so I couldn't, appreciate the Safari Zone hunt for what it is. As a matter of fact, I remember thinking it was totally unfair. Out of all the places to find a shiny Pokemon, of course I would find one in the one spot where I have, the least amount of control over whether I can catch it or not. All that being said, I am definitely a shiny hunter these days.
Oh my god.
I live for the thrill of the hunt, seeing how high or low the encounters can go and phasing or failing along the way. The more I hunted and the deeper my love for this hobby grew, the more this Magneton started to kind of hang over my head. So for Safari Week this year, I'm aiming for a classic reclaim. I'm headed back to Johto, and I'm gonna get this thing for real this time. No shortcuts, no PK Hex or PKSM or whatever. Just classic 1 in 80, 192, full odd shiny hunting. I had a copy of Heart Gold and Soul Silver each, so I borrowed a 3rd copy from my buddy Aaron, shoutouts Aaron, and grabbed a DS Pico cart to use as my 4th copy. All that was left to do now was wait for Safari Week to kick off. Funny enough, just like back in 2023, all of these save files had yet to complete the Safari Zone tutorial, so I couldn't leave the Mountain Zone if I wanted to anyways. I led with a Magnemite or Magneton at the start of my party because of its ability Magnet Pull, ensuring I would see these guys more often. I got a bit of a head start to my Safari Week, pre-gaming about 800 encounters Thursday night. Everything was working great. I was loving being able to hunt wherever I wanted to. Sure, the quad hunting box was mostly made to take hunts outside of my house, but even just being able to get up from this chair and go hunt out in my living room couch is a massive upgrade. When Safari Week started properly on July 17th, I spent the night hanging out with my friends. We watched some old Pokemon VHS tapes and hunted on our own devices. My buddy Ben was grinding out encounters out at Oak's lab, while Aaron took part in the Scarlet and Violet events that were going on. It was a great night, celebrating Ben's birthday, knocking back some beers, and playing Pokemon with the homies. I ended that first night with just 2,700 encounters. The next day, I was up bright and early, shiny hunting with some friends on a Discord call. I got a couple more encounters in before meeting back up with Ben and Aaron to watch the World Cup game later that night. When it was over, we ended up watching a movie called Hundreds of Beavers, and I really have to give this one a recommendation. Super low budget, crazy editing, and just immaculate vibes all around. Please give it a look, it's a hoot and a half. Ended the night with 7,000 encounters, just under odds and still no shinies. But hey, the week had only just begun. My 3rd day on the grind, and I met up with my siblings and girlfriend to check out a local reptile show. I have a couple family members who raise and breed lizards, snakes, beetles, and stuff like that, so I'm a pretty frequent guest at these. I love getting to hear about their pets and see all the work that goes into caring for them. We've been to this particular show a ton in the past, and it's always a good time seeing all the cool animals and enclosures and stuff. My brother Dan bought this cool lamp enclosure for last year for his beetles, and I just think it's really cute. Artists frequent these shows too, and one guy in particular does these awesome pencil drawings. They also had a booth selling carnivorous plants, and my girlfriend and I weren't leaving without taking home an adorable little pitcher plant. I got in a little hunting out at lunch and ended up going over odds later in the afternoon. I wanted to hunt as much as I could today, with my summer camp classes starting the next day, so I kept going for the rest of the night, ending at 12,000 encounters just before bed. I'd only ever gone past 10k encounters a handful of times at this point, so I was both excited to have crossed that threshold again, but also I was starting to wonder if I'd get a chance to see a shiny at all this week with everything I had going on. I won't go into a ton of detail on it, but this year I was teaching a history of game design class, where I bring in all my old consoles, discuss the history behind them, and let the kids play the real deal in person. I even brought in 8 of my DS systems and had them playing Mario Kart on DS Download Play, just like I used to when I was a kid. These 5 days of Safari Week completely flew by. It's tough work managing a class of 20-some hyperactive gamer kids, but somebody's got to do it. I hunted on my lunch breaks like I'd planned, and it made for a really nice, chill cool down from my morning class going into my afternoon one. I wasn't able to hunt at home as much as I'd like since I usually had some work to prep for the next day's class, but I was still getting in plenty encounters on my nights in. I hunted night after night as much as I could, but even after 17,000 encounters, I had nothing to show for my Safari Week yet. Then, out of nowhere, Thursday afternoon, something incredible happened. Not a shiny, unfortunately, but I was visited by the camp's administrator. He came by to tell me about 5 Wii U's they happen to have in a closet and ask if I needed them for anything. I told him I was actually already bringing in a Wii U for class, and he clarified he didn't mean for class, he meant to keep. So yeah, in addition to my paycheck, I guess I'm also being paid out in, defunct Nintendo consoles? Can I work my way up to 3 Virtual Boys next year? Anyways, I made a post about it on Blue Sky, and I got a lot of comments on it, at least more than anything else I've ever posted, so I figure I could actually go through some of those here and respond to them. Since, no shinies.
Tell me how I can get a job teaching game history, please!
Get a degree in game design and then do a bunch of extracurricular bullshit. That's all they're good for these days.
Wait, for use with your class, obviously.
Nah, Mom said I could keep them.
For what? Paperweights?
Do I look like I own any paper?
Holy fucking shit, what a jackpot. What are you planning on doing with them?
I'm gonna use them as paperweights.
Gaming history, like that's a worthwhile subject for anyone to waste their time and mind on.
It's a summer camp. It's for fun. It's for fun.
Gaming equivalent of a dinosaur fossil.
If Wii U was a kid, he'd be in 8th grade right now.
Somebody yell Scott the Woz.
Scott the Woz! Also, hi, Alolan Doug Trios.
With 24% of Americans unable to read or write and 54% illiterate to grade 6 level, your time teaching might be better spent teaching Americans reading, writing, and arithmetic.
Oh, I'm a Pokemon fan. I can't read either.
Dang, I did not need to know about this. This post made my bones creak.
Should have gotten an education from America. Then you wouldn't even be able to read this post.
Dude, I'm under the basement right now and I need a Wii U to get out. Please, drop it off my doorstep, or else I'll die. Real and true.
Perish.
Over 99 missed calls from Scott the What? Hello?
Hey, hello, Scott here, and say, have you ever been in a pickle like this?
Oh my god! Oh, what can I say? I guess some people only have 4 Wii U's. Experiencing the, second case of Wii Euphoria ever, I went live on Thursday testing out the consoles on my Twitch channel. These were originally used to teach a game design class using Mario Maker, so I thought I would check out some of the levels made back in 2017. I played a level called #TheCastleChallenge and died a million times. This level was made nearly 10 years ago by some kid who's probably 20 years old right now. Imagine popping open some rando's Twitch stream and seeing him play an unpublished Mario Maker level you made when you were 10 years old. Mortifying. There wasn't really anything interesting on the Wii U, so I swapped over to some hunting in the Safari Zone. You don't know Cloth Monkey, Wire Monkey? Okay, sorry, it's Cloth Mother, Wire Mother. There were scientists that put a monkey in a cage, fucked up to do. I'm not condoning this. And you've got a cloth mom, which they're robots. Cloth mom is cozy. It's covered in cloth. It's warm, but it pushes the monkey off of it every now and then. It's get off of me, right? And then there's the wire monkey, which is cold and hard and and I don't like it. But that's where the milk it comes from. So you got the wire monkey, right? They let the monkey get used to the 2 moms, and then eventually they introduced a scary thing to scare the monkey, right? And then they were which one is it gonna go to, right? Is the wire monkey more comforting because it provides nourishment, or is it the cloth monkey because it's nice and gentle? And, oh shit, shiny Perlite, I'm sorry, Chroma, I'm talking about fucking wire monkeys and stuff. After my explanation of Harry Harlow's Nature of Love experiments from the 1950s, my chatters actually thought it would be fun to add more moms for the monkeys to play with. So, here are some moms, I guess. Streaming's weird. I ended stream that night thinking a lot about the encounter total in the bottom left of my screen. Up until this point, my longest shiny hunt ever had been a Sandshrew at 19,450 encounters earlier this February for the Unknown Challenge. Friday night, as I was up late gaming, I finally crossed that line, making this my longest phase yet. I stared at the counter, thinking about how far I've come as a shiny hunter, and how much further I would get to go in the years to come. I knew of a bunch of other shiny hunters who were going well into the 30 to even 40,000 mark. To them, my nearly 20k didn't really seem like a whole lot, but to me, it was the furthest I'd ever gone. With only 2 days left to go, my luck seemingly run dry, would I really not be able to find a shiny after all? Saturday morning, I had a ton of work to do, cleaning the house and plugging in all the consoles I brought to camp that week. I wouldn't find time to shiny hunt until later that evening when I went over to my sister's house, where I passed 20,000 encounters for the first time ever. We also celebrated my brother-in-law's birthday, and I watched Porco Rosso for the first time. I ran encounters all Sunday, trying to get in as much as possible on the final day of the event. My friends and I hopped on for our weekly game night, and I ran some encounters while playing Slay the Spire. I would run a set of encounters, take my turn and slay the spire, and then check out what I found after depleting my hand of cards. This made for a pretty ineffective hunting system as I wasn't really looking at the Pokemon as they come up, meaning I wouldn't even see it right away if a shiny Magneton did show up. Oh my god, shiny Magneton, shiny fucking Magneton! I'm playing Slay the Spire, I'm not paying any attention. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, this is it. This is it.
We've done it, we've done
Holy shit, which one is that? Top left. This one right here, this one right here. Alright, I'm gonna throw the ball. I'm gonna throw the ball. One. Okay, broke out. Let's see if it stays. Let's see if it stays. At least I got to see the sparkles. It's watching. Ball number two. It would be so nice. I'm glad to have just seen it. I am glad to have been reminded this exists. It is crazy. Come on. No. Oh, Lord. Safari week, man. So, not bad for my first Safari week, huh? Despite going on my longest phase ever just to fail in the end, I am really glad that I participated this year. Maybe this is a hot take, but I don't think shiny hunting is necessarily about getting the shiny Pokemon in the end. Finding and catching a shiny Pokemon will never not be cool to me. But, again, if all I wanted was a yellow Magneton, I know of another way to get one of those. To me, shiny hunting is about engaging with these games in new and unique ways. To go on adventures, create stories, and share them with friends who feel similarly. I've made so many new friends this past year just hunting in Discord calls, going live on Twitch, and being able to celebrate and commiserate with like-minded people is really what shines for me. A huge thanks to all my friends who sent in pictures of their Safari Week setup and utilized their voices for my Wii U segment. You guys are truly some of the coolest people I know. In regards to my toolbox, even though I didn't catch any shinies on it yet, it's definitely more than proven its worth this week. Being able to store and transport 4 entire DSs, a laptop, and all the stuff you need for a quad hunting OBS layout, it's not something I know any other shiny hunters have, so I'm really glad I took the time to put it together. I even decided to give it a name, so everyone say hello to the Beans2U mobile laboratory. Whether I'm at work, a friend's place, or just out on my living room couch, I really can't wait to see where it takes me next. Again, it's not the most impressive build, but it's a damn fine piece of equipment to have around. Shoutouts again to my dad for helping me put it all together. As for Magneton specifically, can you really blame it for running away from me? I know this isn't exactly how it works, but to me, this Magneton is the very same I saw back in 2023. I like to think Magneton was testing me, making sure I was ready to hunt it down for real this time. I guess in order to prove that, I have to be willing to accept that I could lose Magneton over and over and over again before I actually claim it. Well, game on then, Magneton. Enjoy your time in the Safari Zone while you can. Because until that metal polycule decides I'm ready, I know exactly where I'll be hunting in the Safari weeks to come. Oh shit, and I gotta give Balboa a Geodude, man. I gotta finish that tutorial. I might actually want to, like, use the Safari Zone at some point, huh? Oh well. Thanks for watching this episode of the Bean Labs. I've been Professor Beans. Toodles poodles. Stay nasty.